That's a lot of birds. We gotta check this out. Welcome to Wildlife Adventures. Today we are in the Forillon National Park. On the last episode, I said I wished I had seen Razorbills and common Mures. I asked a few people, and I was told I was very likely to see them here, so I knew I had to come. I also heard about a path, only accessible at low tide, that could lead me to a secluded coastal area. I wanted to see what I could find over there. I hit the road early in the morning to get to Forillon. In fact, I got there way too early. Here's a map of the park so you can follow along. So, the park has two sections, a north and a south one. The things I wanted to see were in the north section. I had to wait for a few hours until low tide to take the path. I figured I might as well go in the south section in the meantime. I stopped at the visitor center to see what I could do there. I saw there was a taiga trail right next to me. It intrigued me, so I chose to go there instead of the south section. To get to the trailhead, you must first traverse a boardwalk. That's where I made my first find of the day. I think it's a song sparrow. Song sparrows can be found throughout most of North America, but the birds of different areas can look quite different. In Alaska, there's a subspecies called the giant song sparrow. Apparently, it's much bigger than this one. I continued toward the trail, and soon enough, I found the trailhead. I followed it for a while, until I found a bird hide. I went in to see what I could observe there. I found a small group of American crows foraging. American crows don't breed until they're 2 years old. Usually, it takes them even longer, sometimes more than 4 years. Those non-breeding crows, called helpers, stay with their parents and help them raise young, build nests, feed the incubating females, feed the nestlings, and defend the territory. This is called cooperative breeding. While I was looking at the crows, I saw a raptor flying in the distance. It was really far, and I wasn't able to film it while it was flying, but after it landed, I was able to. To say it was far is an understatement. I'm using a super telephoto lens on one of the largest birds in North America, and it's only a small dot on the screen. Luckily, you don't need to be close to this bird to identify it. It's a bald eagle, the national animal of the United States. Here's some footage of injured bald eagles I took in captivity. Bald eagles typically nest in forested areas next to large bodies of water. Most of the ones I've seen were next to salt marshes. They mostly eat fish, but they can eat other things depending on what's available. I couldn't see this bald eagle very well, so I moved on. I continued on the trail, and the environment got progressively weirder. The ground was covered in moss, and the trees were all conifers. While I've seen that before, I must say I loved the way it looked. Suddenly, I heard a bird singing. It's a white-winged crossbill. Their bill is adapted to extract seeds from the cones of coniferous trees. They can eat up to 3,000 seeds a day. They especially like spruce and tamarack seeds. White-winged crossbills are opportunistic breeders. They will breed whenever food is sufficient. They have been recorded breeding in all 12 months. After this bird, I finished the trail without finding much, and I headed to the north section of the park, as the tide was gonna be low soon. I went to a place called Cap Bonamy. When I got there, it wasn't long before I found what I was looking for. or at least some of it. Those are razorbills. Razorbills are North Atlantic seabirds that only come on land to breed. In the winter, they live offshore in the ocean. Most of them breed in Iceland, but we're lucky enough to have some here. They mostly nest in crevices in cliffs or among boulders. I think they are one of the nicest looking birds in the region. There were also a lot of double-crested cormorants on the rocks near the razorbills. The tide was at its lowest, so I went down a long staircase to go on the beach. I followed the edge of the coast, and sure enough, I found the path I was told about. To be fair, it wasn't so much of a path. I don't know how you would call that, but whatever, I wanted to see what was on the other side. I saw a large group of birds in the water pretty far from me, too far to even film them, so I started getting closer. On my way there, I almost slipped to my death on some wet rocks, but I somehow managed not to. I knew I had to be careful from now on, or I would end up like this crab. I got close enough to start filming when suddenly a swarm of birds started flying in the distance. It was pretty impressive as they were glowing in the sunlight. I immediately started getting closer. I thought I knew what they were, and I wanted to make sure. When I got closer, I was pretty happy with what I saw. I talked a bit about those in the last episode, but I didn't expect to see them from this close today. They are Blacklegged Kittiwakes. They are somewhat similar to a gull species that also live around here, called the herring gull. They could be mistaken from afar, but I know those ones are black-legged kittiwakes. They are smaller, their legs are black, their bills isn't shaped the same, and their eyes are black instead of yellow. Like razorbills, black-legged kittiwakes spend their winters at sea and come to nest on cliffs to breed. They breed in large colonies. They mostly eat fish, although, if fish numbers are low, they can eat crustaceans and other marine animals. This kittiwake seemed pretty suspicious of me. They are not used to human presence, so that doesn't surprise me. After looking at those, I looked in the water and I finally got to see the second bird I came here for, common Mures. They were swimming in the water with razorbills. They look pretty similar, but their heads and bills are not shaped the same. Like razorbills, common Mures live on the ocean and come on the coast to breed. They usually nest on cliffs. Both species mostly eat fish. Unlike razorbills, common Mures can also be found on the west coast of North America. After seeing those, I started going back to the staircase. I didn't feel like getting stranded on this section of the beach by the tide. On my way back, I got to see a few common eiders. It's the largest duck in the northern hemisphere. I also saw Harlequin Ducks. Unfortunately, there were no males. The males are beautiful. We might see some of them in a future episode. Harlequin ducks live in northern waters on both the east and west coast. I know there's some of them in Greenland and Iceland too. Their diet is mostly mollusks, crustaceans and insects. Sometimes they also eat small fish. That was the last interesting animal I found today. Overall, it was a great day. I found all the birds I was looking for, and even more. If you have any question about what we saw today, ask it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer it. If you liked this episode, please leave a like, it helps out a lot. New episodes are coming every Thursday, so if you don't want to miss any, make sure to subscribe. And remember, go out there and find something cool.